room of our own, which allows us to access the fast travel teleportation system of the game. We are almost finished with the unnamed city for now. You can explore it for additional treasures and similar things, but what we want to do is kill a dragon, or a small one at least, a hatchling, for a journey step and a decent amount of experience. Right, skeletons. Actually, yeah. There is a chest nearby that we can loot without killing the boss that's guarding it. Level 8 minion. 11 vitality and 16 agility. Right. So there's a boss creature here with a star metal weapon that we can basically aggravate. I'm just a bit hesitant because if I go over the weight limit when I loot that chest, I'll slow down and he'll cut me to pieces. So I should get the hyena to come back and place something heavy in its inventory instead. Yeah, that should be good enough. The chest is actually hidden, but if you know where it is, you can access it. Of course you got accurate to the archer first. Okay, now we're talking. Chest is actually behind this thing here. You can get some basic stuff from it. I'm not sure if the hyena is strong enough to kill this boss. If we do kill it, we can get a fragment of power from it. At least the human NPCs often struggle with this one. At least without a decent epic armor set. But it might be possible to double team it until it dies. But it's going to deal shitloads of damage to our hyena, so I'd rather not commit into killing it at this time. Because we are going to need the hyena for the dragon hatchling. So I don't want him to lose like 70% of his hit points. And then get surprise killed by a dragon. supposed to head this way, I think. Oh, we have additional skeletons. I actually don't have any repair materials for the torch. I don't think it bone's going to do anything. Well, I might be able to repair it to some degree with just bone. If I get any from these. Yeah, I need glowing goop, which I don't have. I can try and make a normal torch, however. It gets so dark in this game. It's a bit annoying. But yeah, we're pretty much in the proper location now. I'm just waiting for it to become a bit brighter before I pull aggro from the dragons. I think there's one. Now where are these red dragon hatchlings? They may be where. They break the Conan cannon and actually breathe fire. Yeah. It's strange because it even says in game that dragons do not breathe fire, and yet these ones do. And we leveled up. Let's skin it for its horn and some bones. We got 11 dragon bones and 1 horn. I think you can only get 1 horn from these baby ones if your harvest multiplier is less than 2. They're used to craft stuff later in the levels. There's also supposed to be chests here that you can loot. But there's also a normal dragon, which is a bit larger than the baby ones. I think the chest is behind that dragon there. This one just that I was thinking of. But we are only killing one of the dragons for now. And we are actually fairly close to exiting the city from its western gate, which is something that I might want to do. There are some skeletal monstrosities here, but if you just run past them and this tall skeleton, you don't really need to fight against them. And that mountain there is called the Fingerfang Rock, and if you climb it you can learn the recipe for the climbing boots and the climbing gloves. And if you have the fragment of power you can get spend it there to learn better versions of them. I'm not sure if the better version only has a higher armor class or if it's actually better for climbing. And the Jackal Demon was referring to these trees, probably. Look like they're a bit on the grotesque side. Some scorpions here. And then there are the sulfur pits where you can get brimstone if you can somehow negate the poisonous fumes that exist around that place. But we're going to claim this obelisk here for teleportation later on, because it's the one close to the Sepermeru city, which is a journal step that we have available. There were also a few dungeons in this part of the world, the area west of the unnamed city, and really explored any of them. When I played more of this game earlier, they either didn't exist back then or I just didn't know of them. I'm fairly sure they did not exist, because the wine cellar dungeon was added later on, and I think the Warbringer stronghold was also added later on. So this is the city of relic hunters. It's an interesting location. If you have followers with you, they might anger the townsfolk by their default targeting system, because they'll aggro at neutral targets when there's a hostile target nearby. So if you know what you're doing, you should be fine. And you can actually find all kinds of NPCs here, and if you knock them out, you can tame them or break them in the Wheel of Pain. Unfortunately, the nearby NPCs will also aggro at you when you attack any of them, so it's a bit risky because the faction level of this city is quite high. So these are very healthy enemies They don't do that much damage, I don't think, but they can really take it. And you can sometimes even find the named tier 4 NPCs around here. This is the tavern. There's a guy here that we might recognize. There's also the innkeeper's ledger, where it hints that there's a wine cellar.
You can walk out of here with a bargain or a frown.
You can
Your choice.
buy iced tea from this guy, but he doesn't have any
Pleasure doing business with you.
talk content. There are 3 dancers here, so they'll get rid of our corruption when we watch them dance. It says gaining corruption, but that's just a glitch.
So you live, and we meet again. Tell me, have you had a good chance to look around? Seen your fill of these exiled lands? It's not too late to get back on that crucifix. Any fool can see that you need answers. Left hanging for the vultures on that cross. A cursed bracelet that keeps you trapped in this place. Everybody trying to kill each other. I should leave you all to your fate. I don't have the stomach for sorcery. Give me a foe that I can strike with cold iron. Ah! I'll be here a while. His wine tastes like boiled camel's piss and the bread's half weevil, but I'm comfortable enough. If you have questions, ask. I wandered for a while after I pulled you from that cross. In the south, I found desperate souls and Darfari man-eaters. In the east, apes that walked like men among the overgrown ruins of an ancient city. I found an amphitheater where the ancient dead walked, and the memories of ancient battles stained the sand. It stank of sorcery. So I left. I have traveled far and seen much. From the glittering ice of Asgard to the jungle expanses of the Black Kingdoms. I have been thief, pirate, and mercenary. But nowhere have I seen gods as I see them in this land. These avatars that stalk and spread destruction in their wake. These are not gods. These are what men want gods to be. Weapons. There is a woman. I freed her from the cross just as I did you. I followed her trail across the exiled lands. I missed her here by a scant few hours. She had left in search of a map room and a way to free herself from the exiled lands. Her trail ended in the map room. She was gone and all of her companions slaughtered. Listen. If you have news of Razma of Shem, let me know. What do I know of sorcerers and their feuds? I do not dabble in the dark arts. But whoever and whatever put you here is a wielder of the dark arts. You are like a wolf in a trap. You struggle to flee, and yet, in the end, it will kill you. Be smarter. Find out what they want, then hold it close. They will come for it. And then... your jaws around their throat. Just remember this. If you do succeed, If you do manage to find a way to remove your bracelet and leave the exiled lands, you will have to make a choice. Stay and be the hero of your own story, or leave and risk losing it all. The choice will be yours. Choose wisely. Any fool can see that you need answers. Left hanging for the vultures on that cross. A cursed bracelet that keeps you trapped in this place. Everybody trying to kill each other. I should leave you all to your fate. I don't have the stomach for sorcery. Give me a foe that I can strike with cold iron. Ah, I'll be here a while.
I think that guy on the tiny island is also actually hostile. So if you're too close, you risk pulling aggro from these guys here. But this is the entrance to the wine cellar dungeon. It only says return to the surface when you're next to it, so it's easy to miss. And this is where you can find several emotes scattered across on notes on the floor. We also have the first Harlot's journal here. And a bunch of Setite priests. And wasn't there supposed to be a chest here as well? Or did they move it somewhere else? There are hidden chests throughout this city. And we have our piece of paper here. Tissa's clap. Tectosa's journal is a bunch of papers that tell a story of how he's trying to tame a beast, but he does not really succeed in it. There's a chest here. Has some thick leather, steel, some higher tier arrows, which we'll gladly take. We have some more Setite priests. And I think I saw another interact here, yeah. And what else? Hello! I would so like to knock you out and bring you with me. Get access to flawless weapons. And a very fast rate of crafting reinforcements, but I'm not really going to right now. Also, he'll despawn when we go further away. But I just don't have the stats right now to mess around with this city here. If I had my fighter troll with me, I might be more likely to be able to do something here. But I'm a little bit too unequipped and inexperienced to really do much. Other than just basically explore stuff. And those guys are aggro if you go too close. And a Apparently I was too close. So we want to avoid the hyena from becoming hostile towards everyone here. So wandering bearer that might be of interest to locate and kill for the resources. Or just to tame him from his for his bearer's back. There's also a tier 4 fighter wandering randomly this location called the Captain or something along those lines. But I haven't found him in ages. There are a bunch of merchants here
What can I get you?
that give you really bad deals.
Come again.
What'll it be?
Like really bad deals.
My stock is limited, so buy now.
If you've got coin to spend, I've got goods to sell.
Well, maybe you might want the glass flasks.
You buying?
There's also the second Harlot's journal here, which teaches us how to flirt.
You need something, Exile?
There's also this thing here. I'm not sure if just fluff or flavor. This dead guy here. There's also the prison. It has 2 chests that you can loot. It also has a fixed taskmaster spawn, I think. This guy here. The journeyman, so it's I think counts as a tier 2 taskmaster. Oh, they've removed the other chest. That's interesting. There used to be a iron chest here. And what else? There are a bunch of NPCs here, like you've seen all around us. And you can usually get an alchemist from they were supposed to be here, I think. Or there. But I'm not seeing any of them. Any of them this time. Are we having some kind of memory issue, maybe? As in not related to my memory, but rather how they spawn. Seems like it. They started manifesting just now. Let's hope the recording doesn't get hurt by this. You I definitely want. +9 stat armors would be really great. You can usually get good alchemists from these spawn locations here. I think there's also another Taskmaster spawn here. Tier 1 only. And I think there's a smelter here always. But it's only smelter 1. So definitely a location where you want to visit for easier thralls later on. How many iron bars do you have? You have enough. So what am I missing from Lesser Wheel of Pain? Only raw materials, so that's fairly helpful. I want to give you 19 of these. So this is an interesting house. You can look inside, you can see there's a person, but you don't get to enter it. But there's a relic hunter armor stand there that teaches you the things. The doors are ajar, but you can't get through. It's a plot sensitive spot.